Okay, y'all, before you judge me, let me just say, I know, it's been a minute, but I've been reading and I got some books to share with y'all. So just stick around if you want to hear me talk about some good reads. Okay, like I said, I know this. I'm just gonna call this the summertime wrap up, because summertime just got. Oh, it just got away from me. I was still reading, and every time I was just like, I need to make a video, and baby, the video just wasn't coming. But anyway, this is my summertime wrap up. I have 6 reads, only 1 ebook, 2 physicals, and I think the rest are ebooks. So let's jump right into it. First, I'm going to start off with the audio book that I listened to, the only one. Out of Body by Nia Davenport. It is a YA thriller and one of my anticipated reads for 2024. If you haven't already watched that video, as always, I'm going to link it up here, or it will go right here. Link it up here, or it will be down in the description bar. I can't believe 2024 is almost over, and I feel like I recorded that video yesterday. But either way, Out of Body is about these 2 girls, Megan and Elsie. They are best friends. They go to this party together, and Megan wakes up after some escapades, and she's not very sure what exactly happened, but she wakes up and she's in Elsie's body, and she's all like, now hold up, and nobody believes her. So now she's fighting to get back her body because she soon realizes that Megan has swapped bodies with her best friend Elsie, and she's trying to understand why this happened, why Elsie's acting like that she's not in her body. It's a whole thing. And I had such a good time with this book. I did. It was a solid read. I would say if you haven't read it and you're looking for a good YA thriller, I would recommend this one. Did it blow me away? I mean, now that it's been some time since I've read this book. No, but was it like what I did? I still have a really good time reading this. Absolutely. And it's definitely a book that I would say don't be in a rush, but if you're looking for some entertaining, baby, pick this one up. Because it did have me. Was it the most thrilling read? No, but was it a solid YA thriller? Absolutely, yes. The next book I have is The Perfect Sister by Desiree. Woo! This one's on Kindle Unlimited. If you're looking for something to read on Kindle Unlimited, so I think the same person that wrote this book, I did a wrap up where I read Brumman. I probably just put like a small picture below right here what it was on with the big picture. But anyway, it was a series called Brumman, and it wasn't the best series, but it was very entertaining, if you get what I'm saying. So I read through them. But I think that she uses different names depending on what she's like, different, or like it's always like Desiree or Granger, but like I think sometimes she'll, depending on what she's writing, the author name will appear differently. But yeah, Perfect Sister is, I can't even describe. But Perfect Sister is about this woman named Pandora, and she lives on this like camp or compound of it's just black women, who feel that they are superior to men. Like, they're superior to men. They're like, black women are the superior race. And on this compound, like, they have children, but they only have girls. So if they're boys, we don't know what happens to them. We don't even know how these women get pregnant because there's no men on this compound. So like, where did they come from? We don't know. But when you reach a certain age, you can become a mother. So Pandora has reached the age where she can become a mother. And her mother wants her to become a mother, but she doesn't want to become a mother. So with her friends, Aaron and Raven, they escape the compound and they go out into the outside world. And where is the outside world? No place but Atlanta. Which, I don't know. The fact that that the outside world was Atlanta, and the running joke is Atlanta is not a real place. I don't know. It just made me laugh. It made me laugh. I had nothing else to say. But anyway, so they go out to the real world and they interact, with like, they go to the club and other things. Like, they interact with men and like just in a whole environment that they've never interacted with. And it's giving fish out of water. It was the world building of the compound that they live in, and how the compound interacts with like the outside world. So we get the perspective of the girls who live in this world, and then the characters who like live in Atlanta on the outside, that know of this compound, that know of this cult. And it's two parts: the Perfect Sister 1 and the Perfect Sister 2. And baby, the way I ate both books up. I never read something, so I'm lying. I have read things just as fast, but it was definitely one of those ones like you sit down and you read in a day and you're just like, oh my gosh, I just read this in a day. And for me, baby, the world building, that world, to me, it's insta. If you end up falling in love with somebody within like 2-3 days, baby, it's insta love for me. The way that one of the love stories with Raven and Desmond was my favorite side storyline, because the way that she like created that the development in the relationship was so fast. And I hate insta love. Like, that's my least favorite. Is it a trope, structure, characteristic of a romance? It's like my least favorite. I don't like insta love. I'm a slow burn girl until I die. I should do a video about Black romances and slow burns. But anyway, it's my least favorite. That definitely could have read as an insta love, but the way that she builds the tension between the both of them in those short amount of days, Desiree, you did that. Because I was just all like, girl, don't go back. Go be with Desmond. I had a good old time with the Perfect Sister. Go get that in Kindle Unlimited. Just go read it and come back to me. And just leave a comment and be like, girl, I read it. I want to know. I want to know what y'all thought. But anyway, the Perfect Sister, had such a good time with that. It took me out of a reading slump. So the next Black romance that I read was For the Night by Rae. Is it Lyse? I think it's Lyse. But whatever. It'll be up here, as you know. And For the Night, I don't think it's part of the Sun series. It might be part of the Sun series. I think it's part of the Sun series. The Sun series, I think I've talked about one of the books. Actually, I think I've only talked about a book I've DNF'd, and it wasn't even part of the Sun series. But the Sun series has Sunflower, Endgame, 30, and Bunny. I think it's 4. So I think this is the 5th one in this series. And the Sun series started with, I can't remember those two characters' names, but Sunflower. That was the first book in the series. And I love Sunflower. I had a really good time with that book. And I think the only book that I haven't read in that series is Bunny. But I've liked every other book in that series. But I think this one, For the Night, might be my favorite. So, another trope that I don't really care for as I give the description of the story. This story is about a teacher, a kindergarten teacher. Her name is Venus. And I can't remember the little girl's name, but she watches a girl that she believes is having like some developmental issues with her speech. So when we meet her, the girl is at her school and her father hasn't picked her up. And matter of fact, it's the wrong address for the house that she is supposed to go to. So baby girl is pissed. So the dad comes and ends up being Anthony nickname Nune because his last name is Nunes. So Anthony, but people just call him Nune. And baby, they just, going tit for tat. And also Anthony is young. Like, he's a quote unquote young father. And Venus is not young. Like, Venus been around the block. Actually, Venus just got divorced from her husband. So she's like rebuilding her life, okay? So they already are not like, she thinks that he's just a young lost dad, like he don't know what he's doing, and Anthony doesn't appreciate her thinking that he is ain't-ish dad. So they just the prejudgments on both one another's respective sides just lead to them butting heads. So they're butting heads. They don't really like each other, but love to hate. And age gap, because there's a significant age gap between the two of them. But, the circumstances, creating situations where they run into each other, they end up developing a very deep, intimate bond. And For the Night, I think, the For the Night is absolutely my favorite of the Sun series. And I don't care for age gap, but I feel like this age gap, there was, out of all the, and I think because she was this character, out of all the women characters, the female lead characters in the series, this character is like older. And maybe I just need to be reading older romances at this point in my life. But older characters, I mean. So, like, she didn't get, the other characters in the Sun series, like, the female lead characters, 9 times out of 10, at some point, they got on my nerves. They got on my nerves heavy. But the whole time, I understood where Venus was coming from, in that, like, she was trying to be rational, but then she was just all like, there's something about this man. And when she made, like, decisions, I was just like, okay, girl, I don't know. I understood. I still understood where she was coming from. Like, she irritated me the least out of all the characters. And I think maybe because she was just older and more grounded and has experienced life. And, this is like her second even though I don't know if that first marriage was really love, but okay. But, I enjoyed that. And also I enjoyed, do I want to say the duality? Like, I enjoyed Anthony and how, like, he also as a character had lessons to learn and was growing and was flawed. Like, he wasn't perfect, but he wasn't like unredeemably perfect to me. Like, he's really trying to do the right thing. Like, he's really trying to be a good dad. And he just really wants to do, he wants to do the right thing. And sometimes in that, like, he'll make fucked up decisions. But anyway, I had a really good time with For the Night. I believe their romance. I believe their love. And I was invested in the story from beginning to end. I really was. This is definitely, like, I would still say that, especially the first 2 books of the Sun series, if you've never read the Sun series, I would definitely start off at least with the first 2 books. But if you're asking which of the 4 books is my favorite, hold on, 5. Okay, the 5th book. Read the first 2, and then the 5th book is my favorite. This most recent release is my favorite. Like, I would get this in paperback. I should go see if they have it on paperback in Amazon. But, yeah. Another one I think it's on Kindle Unlimited. Another one on Kindle Unlimited. And I think all 4, or maybe the first 2. I know a bunch of her books are on Audible. If this goes on Audible, I'm gonna get the Audible too. This was a good one. The Last Romance. And I think I had this in order for my least, okay, that's a lie. I think I just had when it came to, like, the black romances this month, because sometimes I'll be reading them and I'll be like, it was okay. But baby, I'll be recommending these for the rest of my life. These were some 3 solid ass romance and had everything that I liked in it. So the last one I have is your girl. Ever since I've read The Last Stop from Innocence, Baby Girl has had me. Takerra Allen, Baby Girl has had me in the chokehold. I will say, the last book I read, Devout, wasn't really. Was it a good read? Did I read it from beginning to end? Yes. Were the characters pissing me off? 100%. Devout, I think if we had to rate them, I think Devout might be one of my least favorites. But I read An Affair. Is it An Affair at Munthill? An Affair on Munthill? Whatever, y'all. I always have the picture here. I'm trying to get. There we go. I have the picture here. I have the picture here. And this one's my favorite. Need for Noir is definitely up there because, baby, the ending. That's it. The ending. But An Affair at Munthill, I usually don't do book bays and like, book boyfriends, like all that. Nah. But Power. It was just enough of I'm part of the scene, the drug deal, not even drug dealing, but what do you call it, like the underscene, the underbelly, I don't know what to call it, but I do just enough illegal activity that it's okay, like like he is polished. Power with it. Power is that dude. And that's all I'm like. Power that dude. 100%. Power is that dude. And Gloria, normally, I'm not gonna lie, The Last Stop from Innocence, I think it was just because she was young. So I was like, girl, you getting on my nerves, but you're young. I understood Gloria completely. Like every time she was just all like, I'm not gonna put up with this. Or like, granted, you are attractive, you are everything that I want you to be, but we gotta draw the line somewhere. Like every time she was just like, I'm not gonna take this Birkin, I'm not gonna do. Baby, she was me. Maybe I liked her because she was me. It was stubborn at times. Like, girl, let it go and just lose yourself in this man. But rationale, sanity. I'm a grown woman with bills, barely paying them, but I still got them. That's why I gotta be even more like, okay, I'm barely holding on as it is. I can't let you unravel me. I don't even tell you what this book was about. So An Affair, I'm just going on about this couple, but An Affair on or at Munthill. I'm sorry, I can't remember because I realized I wrote the title, but I forgot that one very important article when I wrote it. But it follows this small town in New Jersey, Munthill, and Gloria is a mother, a single mother, with a 8-ish baby daddy, and she lives with herself, her son, her sister Gina, and her brother, I can't remember her brother's name, Gary. And when we meet them, there is these 2 men from Baltimore who just moved into town, and their name is Rich and Power, and they're trying to open a casino in Munthill. And because Munthill is a small town, they're all like, hell no, we don't want this casino, which makes sense. Like, who actually really wants a casino? But Rich ends up like being completely like in adoration and zoned in and focused on Gloria's sister Gina. And baby, Gina and Takerra Allen, she gives me a girl's girl, because the way she gets the nuances of what makes these women so cynical is just chef's kiss. The way that they're able to like tap into the the ego and of these men, like what they bring out of these men, what they're able to like latch onto to get what they want. Like, baby, it's an essay. It's an essay about gender and patriarchy and the yeah, baby. I have the words, but you know, this is off the cuff. So, but it's so, because Rich, you know, he all about the stat. Like, she talks, like when she talks about Rich and Gina's relationship, it's status. It's it's appearing like that, you know, I occupy this space in terms of class. You know, like Rich he buys these things like, he names himself Rich, but he buys these things. He has this girl, like he is very, he shows off, and and it's the way that Gina plays into that also makes them perfect for each other. But also it's the way that, like, Gloria is so blind to it. Like, oh, it's just good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But anyway, and the way that their relationship grows and what they bring out of each other is beautiful. It's beautiful. I was just like, baby, I want this. I want this. Where power at? Where my power? Where he at? Ate that book up. I ate that book up. Favorite one. Just a solid urban romance. A solid urban. Oh, Takerra Allen, you do it every time, but you specifically did that. Yes, you did. Okay, the only thing that was throwing me off was the Belizean. I don't know anybody from Belize apart from you know what I'm gonna say. Whoa. Yeah, that's the only person I know from Belize. But yeah, An Affair on Munthill. Go read that right now. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited. The last two books. What a great note to end on. I have two physical books. I bought them at the same time, actually. Very funny. I went to, did I already tell this story? I went to Percevial Everett's book signing and chat at Politics and Prose. And it was such it was such a good chat. And Percevial Everett is very, like, witty and thoughtful. And I mean, his writing is the same way, so it wasn't surprising that was also how he, like, shows up in conversation in spaces. But yeah, so all in all, I ended up getting a signed copy of if it'll focus, of James, which is so exciting, right? So exciting. So anyway, I ended up reading James, and it's supposed to be a retelling of Huckleberry Finn from Jim, the Huckleberry Finn's, like, the slave of Huckleberry Finn's family, in the book. It's supposed to be through the retelling of Huckleberry Finn through his perspective and eyes. And I read Huckleberry Finn forever ago, so in that conversation, people are all like, they reread, when I was at that book event, people were all like, yeah, I reread Huckleberry Finn, but you don't really need to reread it. So I pretty much remember how the story goes, but I mean, all in all, to say I didn't reread it. But this was another one that was, I get the hype. That's why I should start doing this series saying, did I get the hype or did I not get the hype? I completely get the hype of James. You know, we should just swap out. Granted, I understand, like, either way. This is just swap out James for Huckleberry Finn. That's how I feel. Yeah, it's witty. And James, the way that, like, again, I've said this before, I think I said this for Yellow Wife, where these characters during this period, especially the Black characters that are experiencing the conditions of slavery and are experiencing enslavement, I need these stories to have like some agency, some like awareness that what exactly I'm going through and is being expounded on me, like what this system is putting me through, and how the ways that I want to say rebel or go against or navigate this system that is trying to oppress my humanity, and how like they bring humanity to these characters, and in some ways just make the white people kind of like them, of this period. Of this period. Yeah, it's a really good read. That's all I have to say. It's a really good read. If you haven't read James, pick that ish up. The next book I read, I also got while I was at that event, is A Beautyland by Marie-Helene Bertino. And this one was a New York Times came out with like a mid-year best books of 2024, and this was one of the books on that list. And the description was really interesting. It was pretty much based in the 70s up until like current times, and it follows this character. Her name is, I think, Adina. I think her name is Adina. Yeah, Adina. And she is an alien who has a fax machine, and she reports back to the aliens about the happenings and how it's like being a human on Earth, okay, and all the things that she goes through. And honestly, when I read it, I was just all like, is she really an alien, or is she neurodivergent? But either way, if she isn't and she's neurodivergent, it was still like an interesting way to like describe, I guess, those navigating the world through that lens, which made it interesting. It is a slow read, I will say. It's a slow read, but I also think it was just beautifully written, and it's very specific. It's a very specific because I think Baby Girl's from Philly. She's from Philly, and then she ends up in New York, and as a Mid-Atlantic girl who is also in that belt. I'm at the end because I'm currently in Baltimore, but I'm a DMV girl. So, but as that DC to New York, connect, that 95 from city to city to city. It's a very specific. It's just a very specific. The music references, just the way that the setting is. It just feels very. I don't want to say it felt relatable, or it felt like, oh, this is very specific. I think she's Italian. Yeah, she's Italian American, from Philly, and it reads very much that specific like realm and lens. Yeah, but she just goes through like coming into womanhood and love and career and work and trying to find yourself, and yeah, it was just interesting how the relation, her navigating not only her own thoughts and feelings, but her most intimate relationships was, it made for an interesting read. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be in like a rush. I wouldn't say pick this up immediately, but if you're just looking for like, sometimes I just like a really pretty, thoughtful read. So Beautyland was that. Okay, y'all, I did not expect to talk that much about these 6 books. Did I go off the rail for some of them? Yes. Oh, let me know what you guys read this summer. I'm super interested. And as always, we will continue our discussion in the comments. Deuces.